opening of Higher Ground at that time in Winooski, Vermont, and now in South Burlington. Amazing place, and you know, truly a family venue. So we're pleased to have it. And Trey went out to play that with this trio, the Trey Anastasio band, at that time a trio, and then you're hearing the band pick it up here in the fall, and of course they took it to its logical conclusion in some ways. A Big Cypress with the Sandy Final toppling. There's been so many great ones. That one you don't hear too much about, so I wanted to make sure we shared that in the track through the porch. So there you have that. Thanks for listening very much. I want to give a couple more shout-outs. I just received word that Mr. Big Phil's on site. A rare occasion, so I want to welcome Big Phil and Diane, and also I want to say hello to Sanzio, listening out there wherever he is. The festivals are always amazing, and you know, they really retain all their magic. But there's you know, there's a puzzle in one of the pieces. It's gone, Brad. Anyway, getting historical here. I want to talk about the Gang of 10. We've talked about this. There's a number of people on the crew, and then a lot, even more probably in the family overall, who've attended all 10 festivals, worked on them, and been a part of them. And it takes a lot of people to do these events and make them happen, to document them and reverberate them on things like the Bunny, and clean them up and set them up and tear them down. And, you know, I could go on and on and on about that, but it's a big group, and the band's intensity and you know, their various qualities and virtues are internalized and echoed by this incredible group of people that we have. So here's the people, as far as I know, who've worked and or been an integral part of all 10 of these festivals. Speaking of which, we start counting at, this is not my decision, but we start counting it at the Clifford Ball. The first, as Trey said, the first big festival. That was the one where it was clear just how big the Phish Nation had become and how beautiful. So we count forward, but you know, we never count Bradstock, and that was a great one. So here's the Gang of 10. Ready? We got the band, Trey, Phish, Mike and Paige, Jump, the guys, the ones who make it all possible. And then working down from there, we got Toph, Chris Garotta, we got Bruno, Dickie, Kevin Brown, John Langenstein, who we're honored to have with us here again today, Haddon, Tobin, Frank, Russ, who takes care of all the art, Beth, who you heard on air with me earlier, Colton, Bert and Danielle and their whole team, Danny Clinch, Margie, Tom, and the dude. Of course, we wouldn't even have the Phish songs necessarily without those cats. Jim Pollock, and last and certainly not least, Mr. Kevin Statzer, who I'm thrilled to have with me on air today. Kevin, you want to say hi to the people?
Hey everybody out there, nice to be here in Fishland again.
So among other things, Kevin is the owner and operator, founder of Higher Ground. Just happened that he popped up as we were playing that track that kind of began its life in his spot.
And it's my favorite soundtrack.
It's amazing. And Kevin also happens to be related to Trey and his wife Sue. Kevin is also known as the brother-in-law.
PIL.
The PIL. And but not just that. Yeah, there's more. Kevin also was integrally responsible for a large part of putting together the Clifford Ball back in 1996, and that's, we had met before, but that's when we really began our association as colleagues and friends. And so I thought Kevin maybe would give a couple thoughts about where we are and where we came from, and before we move on to the end of my show. DJ Breakaway is going to take over after me. He's got a whole creative idol and other madness is ready to unleash on you all. But until then, Mr. Kevin.
Sure. Well, it's really great to be here. I mean, being the 10th, or maybe there's a couple of halves in there that may not have gotten counted into the actual 10. Bradstock being one of them.
Bradstock.
That was a crazy crazy event that we all just got a call one day and said, Brad's having a barbecue and like everybody should just come over. And then the band just set up and played in his backyard. And but everybody we seemed to know at that time showed up, and it was beautiful. And a lot of stuff from Ghost and that period were being played. A lot of them for the first time. Sort of like the stuff that we had heard Trey do with the 8-foot fluorescent tubes. A lot of those songs from the Higher Ground play back in '98 became really great parts of the Phish repertoire. Sand being probably my favorite among them. But my thoughts about being here now on the 10th is how this all started in such an organic way. I mean, basically, Trey, the band, people just talked to friends and family members and people who worked for them and said, hey, do you think we could have a festival? And could we just have a bunch of food and people we knew from Burlington that maybe could provide food for people and things like that. And it was a very organic. Nobody really had done something exactly like this before, and the Clifford Ball was that, and it became much bigger and much greater than anybody expected. There were moments where we were thinking, hey, wow, maybe this is too big, but it wasn't, and it was great. And each thing after that has become, I feel, more and more defined. And for me, probably the greatest thing was watching the Magna Ball last night, the secret set after the show. I've seen the Tower, all kinds of other late night events, and it by far encapsulated everything that is the inside of Phish for me. And it was just phenomenal, both the visuals and the music. I mean, I just thought the band was so in their element, and they seemed to be fading in and out of a stream of consciousness. You'd see them, and then you wouldn't. Sort of like a lot of other things. It was really great, and I felt like it was a culmination of maybe 10 of these. The hard work that goes into it, the production team. I saw some people later, and I thought, man, these guys just need to be so congratulated. This was so much better than anything I've ever seen. And I've turned 60 this year. I've seen a lot of things in my adult life, and I've rarely seen anything like I saw last night. The whole day, the whole night, and especially the end was just great.
Absolutely magic. We're truly over the rainbow here at the Magna Ball, and I'm really glad that Kevin was able to come out and give you a few words. I also want to send that last track out to a good friend of ours. We came in on a road back here, and it's called Richardson Road, and I want to send that track out to a dear departed friend of ours, in memory of Mr. John Richardson, who we know and love, and I'm sure some of you do too. So, the full cycle of life being represented here and at the Bunny, and it's really a celebration of just that, of life. I mean, what a chance we have to live our lives at all, no matter what it is, no matter where we are, and be able to experience music like this, the kind of joy that flows from the kind of music that these guys put out, and just from the times that we get to spend together. It's really special, whether you're out there on the air, whether you're streaming on the radio, or your phone, whatever it is. I mean, we can all give ourselves this look. It's the secret smile, right, where we can give each other this look and say, man, what a blessing. So with that, I want to move on to the last track. I want to dedicate this one to a couple other people who are here, probably also in some ways in the Gang of 10. I'm just not sure, so I didn't say so. But Amy Skelton and her whole family, and Brian Long. You can't go any further back in Phish history than those guys, and Brian particularly will find this last cut meaningful because it's his. He wrote it, and he wrote the words, at least that is. And we recently took a walk through Burlington, and they pointed out some of these spots and some of the significance, and the roots run deep, and those cats are still around. They're still feeling it. They're still living the dream, along with all of us, and it's just great. So thank you all for listening. I won't spend too much more time talking. This is the Bunny, live at Magna Ball, and Sirius XM Jam on, WMGZ FM 104.9. I'm on Toro Falls, W228 at 93.5 Elmira. For those of you listening on FM, and we're going to go ahead and drop this next track for Amy and Brian and all you. This is Kevin Shapiro. Looking forward to hopefully I'll have a chance to say goodbye. But either way, look forward to this next piece, this Harry Hood, with you guys enjoy.